Welcome to Follow the Money. I'm China Barachina. Let us explore the tools and insights you need to jumpstart your financial journey. Today on Follow the Money, we face one of the hardest questions in finance. What really holds value? For decades, we've trusted fiat, the peso, the dollar, the yen, as the backbone of our lives. But cracks are showing. Inflation eats away savings. Central banks print at will. And all around the world, the people are asking, is fiat money dying? On the other side, we see the unstoppable rise of alternatives. Bitcoin and crypto promise freedom from the system. Gold and silver hold centuries of credibility as stores of value. And then there are commodities, metals, food, energy, each with their own story, their own demand, and their own niche where fortunes are made. The real challenge for every investor is this: do you spread wide and stay agnostic, catching every wave? Or do you focus double down on hold one conviction no matter what? To help us decode this tug of war between old money and new, we turn to someone who has spent decades in the trenches of trading and investing. He is the founder of Trading Academy Philippines, or TAP, where he has trained thousands of Filipinos to read markets, manage risk, and follow opportunities. Known for connecting the dots from why a certain precious metal is in demand to how technology and food trends spark the next wave of growth, he has built his career showing Filipinos how to follow the flow of money. He is none other than Tony Herbosa of TAP. Hi, Sir Tony.
Thank you.
Nice to have you.
Yes, thank you. Nice to be here.
And nice to have you on the show. I
Yes.
mean, this is very exciting for all of us. If there's one person who I
Yes.
can say the epitome of following where the money is, it's actually you.
Well,
So, Sir Tony, when did you start realizing that money markets would be your life's calling?
Okay, so first of all, I started my career as an investment banker. So I was with Anscor Capital. So I did all the IPOs, the early IPOs in 1990s, like
Oh,
Kwok,
wow.
Metro Pacific. I did a lot of the cement companies of Finma, Bacnotan, High Cement. So I was sort of exposed to the stock market. In the latter part, I spent more time being a good trader and trying to understand markets because I worked for small investment houses. I never worked for the big houses. So if I made the wrong underwriting, like I did the lead underwriting for Negros Navigation, and something happens with the IPO, it collapses, the firm will be stuck with the shares, right? So
Yes.
I had to learn what are markets, what are waves, the Elliott waves of the market.
The technical
how
analysis
to read, how
of
to read
it.
the market is very important. And that's why when I retired, I set up Traders Apprentice, just sort of help kids how to make money, how to milk the stock market properly, because everybody goes into it with a little bit of his own bias. And unless you can fix that bias, chances are they won't make money. So you sort of have to teach them the mindset of being a trader.
And what pushed you to do this? Like, is there a significant circumstance that someone asked you, a young fellow asked you to how to trade and how to make value of the stock market?
Okay, first of all, I won't divulge my age, but I've seen the ups and downs.
Yeah.
So, as I said, I went into the IPO market with Anscor Capital in the 1990s. I saw the whole thing flourish 1997. The Asian crisis hit. And so I was jobless for about a year.
Oh.
Good enough, Punong Bilyonaryo wanted to do corporate finance and hired me to do to value companies and that sort of thing. But for 2, 3, 4 years, the stock market was dead. Like basically
Wow.
2000. And if I remember, 2000, DMCI was 8 cents.
What was life about? I mean, with the people in finance during those times?
It was tough. It was tough. So everybody was like on. It's funny because I remember in 1997, 96, we used to do IPOs. We'll take our clients to Captain's Bar in Mandarin. In 2000, it was so hard. Investment bankers would meet in Starbucks. That's where we planned our deal in Starbucks, right? But I was saying in 2000, DMCI was 8 cents. In 2015, DMCI was 75 pesos.
Wow.
So if you time the bull and the bear, the cycles, you would have made a lot of money, So when I started to trade as apprentice, my goal was really how to teach people how to sort of make these multi-baggers. For me, if you're going to make, as you said, you talked about inflation, you try to make 10, 20%, there's no money there because by the time you make the 20%, that house you wanted to buy is twice the value, right? So for TAP, it's always, we were looking for the multi-baggers. Our first two multi-baggers that defined us were Now and IDC in 2015.
And how much was it?
I told my followers to buy Now at 1 peso and IDC at 2 pesos. By 2017, both were almost 20 pesos.
Wow. When you say bagger, it's for people who
Yeah.
will invest in a very small amount of starting point, and then
Yes.
it will multiply several times.
Yeah, so
That's
when
why
you say a
call
1 bagger, it's 100%. A 2 bagger is 200%.
See?
So a 10 bagger is 1,000%. And now, so, you know, I'm more into crypto. I sort of retired in stocks. Crypto gives you 20, 50 baggers.
And talking
left and
about
right.
that, sir, there was like an article or like a comment that I've seen a few years ago that, like, I don't know with your followers, did you really like leave them hanging on stock market? Can you like elaborate and clarify
Okay, a lot of
this
people
issue?
think that, but I still have the same followers.
Yeah.
I have 6 FB groups, maybe a total of 150,000, but I grew my Twitter because Twitter is mixed. There's a lot of foreigners there. I have 42,000 followers in Twitter now, so that's where most of the crypto blogs are done. But for Facebook, I'm still there, except that in 2018, I saw something scary. I saw a wave 4. So
For those viewers, what is
so
wave 4?
when Cory took over, 1986 to 1997, we had the wave 1. So the index went from 500 to like 1,700. And after the subprime crisis, there was a big wave 3. So the index went from like 3,000 to 8,000 or 9,000, if you remember. That was the wave. That was the wave 3.
And this is talking about Elliott waves.
Elliott is wave 1, 3, and 5 are always an up wave, and then 2 and 4 are the down wave. So we finished that wave 3 sometime 1998, and I saw the index grow from 8,000 to 79, 700, 77, 75, and then we broke 7390.
Yes.
Now 7390, I remember that because going up 2014, it took us about 4 or 5 months to break 7390. On the way down, we broke it up like in 2-3 weeks. So I told my followers, PSE is going to go even lower. This was before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I told them 2018, Bitcoin collapsed from $20 to $3,000. I said, all of you, you have to buy 1 Bitcoin at $3,000.
What's the difference, Sir Tony, between like it's both going down? Bitcoin was going down at that time, and PSE also is about to break. But
Yes.
what's the difference of the both of them?
Good.
Why are you betting
That's a great
the
question
Bitcoin?
because the crypto cycles are every 4 years. So crypto is 3-year bear market, 3-year bull market, 1-year bear. So crypto is always like, because it's very
Those
new.
waves, yeah.
Having said that, the crypto is exponential. It's very new. It's like PSE, like I said, 1986 to 1997, the first leg, the wave 1. Crypto is basically just the first stage. PSE, sad to say, is almost mature. Having said that, we still have a wave 5. So the wave 5 for me, if later, is more maybe late next year when crypto dies. So crypto ends its bull wave sometime January, February of next year. Then we can focus on the stock market, the PSE.
Okay, so right now you mean to say that the Bitcoin is still doing its
Bitcoin is
peak.
still on its way up. It's still a bull market.
And a lot of people are actually getting tired of the stock market, especially in the Philippines. We are the lowest
Okay, I
in
hope you don't
Southeast
give up
Asia.
because I have a lot of friends in the stock market.
Yeah,
right?
and how do you give that hope to them, especially when you were saying about the wave 5?
Well, the way I would frame that is, like you said, you have to be flexible. So you have to be like, my favorite quote is Bruce Lee, be water, my friend. So if stocks is
I like
not
that.
moving, you focus on crypto. So if you can make good money in crypto, when you go back to the stock market and it's about to go up, then you have the capital.
And
right?
then going back to what you said, that you didn't leave them hanging. You told them that this is
Yeah,
that there is like a flow.
2018, I told all my followers, you have to move to crypto. And people say, why were you so drastic? Like I didn't blog stocks for 6-7 months because stocks is their comfort zone. Crypto is not their comfort zone. How do I move them away from their comfort zone to the part where they're not comfortable, right? So
Yes.
I had to say, try to buy 1 of Bitcoin. Anyway, I had some followers who bought 20 Bitcoins. Would you believe?
Wow.
I have quite a couple who have 3 to 5
What
Bitcoins.
year was that?
2018. So it was 150,000. Now
Yes.
Bitcoin is almost 7 million,
Yes.
correct?
Oh my gosh.
So I have OFWs who have 10 Bitcoin, 5 Bitcoin. Maybe the most is somebody who has 20 Bitcoins.
And how do you even view fiat in today's digital world? Is it still the king or
Well,
slowly
Fiat
dying?
is this is the scary part is I don't think Fiat, especially Philippines where we have good banking system, are okay. But there are signs fiat is almost at the end of its cycle. Now, there's this guy, Ray Dalio, who came up with this book, The Long-Term Debt Cycle. He says every 50, 70 years, there's a debt crisis because the long-term debt cycle has concluded itself, right? So I'm not saying it's happening now, but I'll tell you this. Gold was $2,000 last year. It's now $3,600. Gold is up 80%.
Oh, wow.
Right? And silver as well is up. Now, you say, Tony, what's the relation between gold, silver, and fiat?
Yes.
Right? Okay, this, we have to go back to history. In 1971, Nixon got off the gold standard. Before, you can surrender your dollar note for gold. So your dollars was backed by gold. Even your dollar said silver dollar. Right? Nixon got off the gold standard. So there was no use case for the US dollar, but it managed to stay afloat because they also went to Saudi Arabia and said, you know, you have to tell the whole world they can only use the US dollar to buy oil. So all the central banks had gold, they kept their dollars. In fact, they made diabang di ba? Like,
Hold
we
that
have 3
thought,
months.
Sir Tony. That's very interesting. But we're just warming up.
Yes.
Follow the Money returns after a short break. Welcome back to Follow the Money. Still with us is Sir Tony Herbosa of TOP. Sir, so you were talking about like the gold
Yes.
and alongside the fiat and
Yes.
silver and its relationship.
Yes. So it's kind of scary, but I don't want to scare everyone. But gold and silver are a fear index. So if something's going wrong with the system, gold and silver is like the hedge. Everybody goes to gold and silver, right? So we're talking about fiat. Let's talk with the US dollar. The US dollar debt, total debt, is 37 trillion. This year, they will have to print 1.3 trillion just to debt service 37 trillion. It's like if you max out your credit card, you print the
Yes.
money to pay. So that's why a lot of countries, especially the BRICS, China, Russia, India, they started to sell their US treasuries. They started to sell the US dollar. Also because you don't need US dollars to buy Saudi oil. Last June of 2024, Saudi Arabia did not renew the petrodollar treaty.
Oh, they did
yeah.
not.
So
So
China
the
is
demand you're saying about
China is
oil.
buying oil from Saudi Arabia
Yeah.
using yuan, and Russia is using ruble. So you don't need to use dollars anymore. On top of that, US is 37 trillion of debt, and 1.3 trillion they're printing every year.
Are you saying
right?
that dollar is weakening as we go?
The dollars is actually the dollar has already weakened and underperformed if you compare with the right yardstick, which is gold and silver. So gold and silver already beat the US dollar. And that's sort of what's scary because why is gold and silver spiking up? It's the fear index. So people are running now. The central banks are, especially China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, they're stocking up on gold and silver. Now, of course, I don't know why we sold our silver, 15%, I mean our gold. We sold
Yeah.
15% for gold last year. But having said that, there's now a run. Most central banks are running towards gold and silver.
And you were saying this because you also believe in precious metals, yes?
Yes, yes. Actually, I had 5 bazaars last year of gold, gold, silver bazaars. I have a very good dealer called Goldex, and he brings all the coins, the rounds.
And you actually bring one real bar of silver
Yeah,
for
okay.
today's episode. Can you show us
This is
that?
this is Herreus. It's silver. This is 1 kilo. So last year I went to Binondo. A gold bar, 1 kilo Herreus gold bar at the time was 5.2 million.
And today?
Today it's 7.
Oh, wow.
And you cannot get it here because Trump imposed all these taxes. It's very hard to find the gold bar.
And
The
silver?
silver bar at the time was 69,000. Now it's 100.
Oh, wow.
So silver has a lot of room to go as it goes up because it's like a small market cap stock like Mega World will rise faster than Ayala Land in a bull market. Diba? So the blue chips are slow. They make 20%, you're happy. But the second liners take off faster, right? So silver is like a second liner in precious metals. But having said that, silver is also very useful because as we move to the digital economy, we're talking of EV batteries,
Yes.
solar panels,
Yes.
hypersonic missiles. They all need silver because silver is the best conductor of electricity,
And that's
not
when
copper.
you point the need for precious metals to what is arising in technology. Like, say,
Yes.
for example, the need for solar solar panels, creation of it.
Yes.
The EV needs silver. So do you think, sir, that there will be a point that the silver will actually be as precious as gold?
Okay, the ratio historically, even the time of the Romans, is 2:1 or 7:1. So silver is 7 times cheaper than gold, or 2 times cheaper than gold. Last year, silver was 100 times cheaper than gold. So something's off with that ratio, right? This guy, Andy Sketchman, who I follow, Franklin Mills, he owns Franklin Mills in the States, one of the biggest mills in the silver mint companies and gold. He said silver is the most undervalued asset in the whole world.
It is.
Yes, so that's basically what he's saying. So if gold, let's say, goes to 10,000, because I think Trump will revalue gold so he can pay off the debt, right? That's what he's doing. When gold flies from 3,600 to 10,000, silver can easily go to $400 or $500 based on my numbers.
Sir, when you buy gold and when you buy silver, like bars like this, is it for wealth building alone or is it like for trading?
It's also for hedging.
Okay.
So you, like I said, the name of the game is you have crypto, you have Bitcoin, you have Ethereum, right? You have Fiat, you have stocks, you have dividend stocks, and you have precious metals, right? Having said that, like with regards to crypto, for me, if you're buying Bitcoin now, you're late. It's 100,000. The best time to have bought Bitcoin was 2014. It's $100.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
The best time to have bought Ethereum, it's now $4,300, was $7 in 2017. So what I'm telling my members is the best thing to buy now, which is the next Bitcoin and maybe the next Ethereum, is Cardano, XRP, XLM, XDC. So for me, these are the ones that have the best upside. Also because XRP, everybody's talking about using that to replace SWIFT.
Is everyone for cryptocurrency, or if someone, because it's really volatile, sir.
Yeah.
So how do you figure who is best fit to buying cryptocurrency?
The young kids are into crypto, so that's fine. The older people, the boomers, if you have, okay, for example, you already have 20 million or you retired, you have 5 million, better to stick to high dividend stocks like Meralco, stick to the TradFi, right? But for the young kids who have to make money, and that house became unaffordable because of Fiat, because they printed money, right? If you remember, a house in Forest Park in 1984 was 1 million pesos. The same house is $1 billion. The house didn't really get a lot more valuable. It's just your money,
The value
not
of your
only
money
that it ends up in
diminished.
these flood control ghost projects, right? Your money, they print money all the time. So it's harder for you. They cannot print this.
Yes.
They cannot print Bitcoin. Bitcoin is 21 million. They cannot print more XRP every day. They can only print paper money,
So,
which is
sir,
fiat.
How do you see the rise of digital wallets and tokenization changing the Filipinos' view for following the money?
I think what's going to happen is, okay, first, let's go back to the 37 trillion debt of the United States, right? And I know this. So I have friends who hate Trump. I have friends who love Trump. And so I always tell my followers, you know what, guys? You don't have to hate or love Trump. The important thing is figure out what Trump's going to do, right? So you're Trump. You're CEO of USA Corporation, 37 trillion in debt. You have to print 1.3 trillion just to pay off the debt for this year, right? And then how do you extinguish the 37 trillion? So first thing he does, he has a crypto reserve. So Trump said, XRP, Cardano, Bitcoin, we're going to store it, right? And then they started to buy Bitcoin, gold and silver, aside from Bitcoin. So what Trump, to me, is going to do is, one is there's a possibility they will revalue their gold because US has a lot of gold. So you revalue gold, you revalue silver, Bitcoin takes off, XRP takes off. He will now have the assets to pay off the debt.
So in your opinion, is it a best move to sell our gold at this time?
I don't know why the BSP sold, but from what I knew, all the central banks are now buying gold. So I hope they bought back. No? For young guys like me, I would rather you buy silver. Why? It's 70,000. No, now it's 100,000 for 1 kilo. You can get this, this Britannica, this smaller, for 2,000, 3,000 pesos because they're more affordable. 1 kilo of gold will be 7 million today, right?
Yes.
It was 5.2 million last year. This one is 70,000 pesos, now 100, but if it goes to 300, you make baggers. You make a 2-bagger right there.
And you really buy them like you have a coin there.
In my last bazaar, people
silver
came
coin.
with cash and they had to carry them to their cars. Yeah.
Okay.
But this is precious metals as a hedge. So you have to have some precious metals. You have to have some gold. You have to have some silver. But for me, Philippines, having said everything, is quite safe because our banking system is safe. The BSP is very conservative. They don't allow derivatives. I can't say the same thing for the developed countries, right?
Why is it different?
Because they have a lot of derivatives. In fact, Warren Buffett called derivatives the weapons of mass destruction because they've had it there. So they had the subprime crisis. They never got rid of the derivatives. They just put it under the carpet, right?
There's
so what
much.
I'm saying is, for me, my concern is the problem is going to be from external, the Philippines. Philippines itself is okay. Now, here's another thing about the debt crisis. So all these developed countries have debt, correct?
Yes.
But Greece, Japan, Spain, Italy, Portugal, more than 40% are 60 years old.
Yes,
So their
the
debts
age
are above
demographics.
100% of GDP, but they're aging.
No one's
right?
going to pay for it. And
That's a problem. That's a problem with fiat. So all these guys, all these economies, the developed countries, even Japan is aging fast. And also, if you can talk about China, a lot of our compadres are scared of China. I'm not so scared about China because China, by 2030, will age faster than Japan because of this one-child policy. So China is also going to shrink, but they have 280% debt to GDP.
Wow.
So all these countries have so much debt. When all of this unwinds, what's going to happen? It's going to be crazy, di ba?
Maestro Tony, we should have a part 2 of this. But
Yes,
for
thank
now,
you.
we'll have our rapid fire. So just answer what comes into your mind.
Yes.
All right, so stocks or crypto?
Crypto,
Gold or silver?
silver,
Save or invest?
invest.
Early bird or night owl trader?
I sit. I'm a sitter. I don't know. I don't trade. In fact, my philosophy in life is don't trade. Don't be an ADHD trader. Buy it cheap, hold it. Like my best example is if you bought Jollibee at 5 pesos, when it had 20 stores, that's
Yes.
the best time to have bought Jollibee. Not buying Jollibee when it's at 300 pesos and it has 200 stores all over the world, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
First thing you bought with your first big profit?
A house in Makati village
Hindi tinuloy.
for 30 million from a Taipan.
Book that changed your money mindset.
Sorry?
Book.
So many, but one is Market Wizards, Conversations with America's Best Traders.
And mentor you look up to?
I can't mention him, but he's a billionaire. He lives in Forge Park. He's my mentor in PSE.
Oh, okay. One financial habit you never skip. A habit you never skip.
Habit.
Like how you follow all of these things. What's your habit that you maintain?
I try not to have a habit because I'll get stuck with. Yeah,
So that's
stuck.
not
Yeah, my habit is, even at my age, like people say, Tony, you're so old, but you're into crypto. That's it. You have to force it, right? I'm now, because of aging, I have to worry about legs and all this muscle mass because apparently the best way to protect yourself from aging is to develop your legs so you can walk. So now I'm back in the gym, so I'm more into that. And
Nice.
so, but you have to sort of do what's not comfortable.
Okay. Sir, if we have 1 million today, where would you ask us to put it?
XRP, silver.
Wow. So, sir, finish this line. Money follows when blank.
Money follows when you're early. You have to be early.
Nice.
Then the 90% who are clueless.
And then, last but not the least, our traditional question for Follow the Money. Money is the root of all blank.
Money is the root of all your dreams that can come true. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Maestro Tony Herbosa, President and CEO of Amalgamated Development Corporation, for sharing your insights from your early journey into markets to your views on crypto, gold, silver, and fiat, and your bigger mission of helping Filipinos follow money wisely. Thank you, Sir Tony. We should have a part 2 of this. In times of change, seeing clearly can be the difference between opportunity and risk. As management expert Peter Drucker once said, the greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence, it is the act with yesterday's logic. We ask the question, what really holds value? And as we've heard, the answer shifts with times. Fiat currencies remain central, yet alternatives like Bitcoin, crypto, gold, silver, and even key commodities continue to rise as anchors of wealth. What matters is learning how to connect the dots, understanding where demand is coming from, where is it being used, and how the shifts shape opportunities for investors at every level. Because money never stands still. It moves, it reinvents itself, and it rewards those sharp enough to follow its trail. And before we go, special thanks to Paulo Juan for my quote for today, and happy anniversary to Bilyonaryo News Channel. I'm China Barachina. Stay curious, stay sharp, and always follow the money.